Good morning. Welcome to that 1870s homestead. My name's Rachel, and today we are going to go out to the garden and pick as many green tomatoes as are worth picking. And I thought I'd talk to you guys everything about green tomatoes today. It's chilly. I think we're going to get down in the 30s tomorrow night for the first time this year. Oh, you know, since gardening season. And oh gosh, the grass needs to be mowed, but we're like, you know, at the end of the season and you just want to get as few grass mows in left that you can. So I think we're both, because I take care of the little backyard and Todd takes care of the property, and we're both kind of, I think, can we push it till there's just one last time? All right, but I'll see you guys in the garden, and we'll get what we get, and I'll tell you what I've done with green tomatoes, so you don't let them go to waste. Okay, everything is really, really dying back. Like the marigolds are done. The amaranth I can just pull, it's going to seed. And a lot of the tomatoes, what I'm dealing with is, I did a video a while back about blight and how blight can affect the tomatoes. And it's doing that on quite a few of them. If I find one, I'll bring it and show you guys. But there's a lot of green tomatoes. Yesterday morning, I came out and did a big pick of kind of the final red ripe ones. There's a few that are blushing a little bit. So let me go in, pick them, and I'll come back and talk to you guys about my plans. So let me tell you about the things I've tried that I didn't like with green tomatoes, because you're going to find a lot of really cool ideas out there, and I just want to give you guys my perspective. So I've tried green tomato ketchup. It was okay. We used it. But I would say it's good for, like, not as a true ketchup replacement, but to use like as a mix-in for making like a glaze on a meatloaf, or you know, something like that. You know, throw it in a slow cooker with other ingredients, with a beef roast or something like that. So it is okay, but definitely probably won't do it again now that I have a different ketchup recipe that I really like with red tomatoes. And then probably the worst thing I ever did was mock apple pie filling with green tomatoes. That was just a total disaster. Yeah, I think I froze those in Ziploc baggies. I didn't can it. Maybe canning would make a difference. And it was just awful. So those are the two things that I've tried that sound cool and totally didn't like it. What are my favorite things, though, to do with green tomatoes? Definitely Salsa Verde. So I don't grow tomatillos. I just use my firm little green tomatoes to make Salsa Verde. And then let me bring one up there. Something like these make great Salsa Verde tomatoes. And green tomato curry. Green tomato curry, I don't need anymore because I did a huge batch the last time I made it, and that keeps for a long time, and that's a canning recipe. And it's kind of something that doesn't get used a ton of, you know, 2-3 times a year we'll have curry, and we could probably use it more often than that, but that's how we've been using it. And I love it. I just, you know, I don't think I ever grew up eating curry. And I came across the recipe for it and really like it. So, and then another thing, oddly enough, that when you think of like, you know, your zucchini breads, and a lot of people say you can do a lot of things with green tomatoes similar to zucchini. The one thing that did work in that way was making quick breads with green tomatoes. So I did like chocolate muffins and spice muffins and all kinds of different quick breads with it. And then that, you know, when you have a whole bunch, you could make up a big batch. I think I did muffins, and then I wrapped them individually and stored them down in the freezer. And it makes for nice treats all winter long, because your green tomatoes aren't going to stay green forever. They'll eventually ripen. So if you're wanting to use them up, you know, and kind of get your harvest and preserving season done, that's another fun way to do that. But I have ended the season in the past, I think, with nearly 4 baskets of green tomatoes. And we just had such a big drought this September, and I didn't do but maybe 2 supplemental waterings, that our tomatoes kind of really took a hit. And I didn't plant as many tomatoes as I have in the past, because we're still doing pretty good. But I think I'll end up with just the 1 basket of tomatoes. You know what? I wanted to tell you guys, in past videos too, I have used my cherry tomatoes in a lot of my preserving recipes. I just treat them like ordinary tomatoes when I'm freezing them. And while I love the flavor of these champagne tomatoes, I think it's called Champagne Bubbles. One of our subscribers sent us these seeds. Tomato is wonderful, but when I defrosted them from freezing them, the skins don't slip on these. They are impossible to get the skins off. But so good as a tomato. So this is another thing. I have all these beautiful, let me put one up, beautiful zinnias that I want to get into, because I don't know how they're going to handle. I have just so many reds, pinks, the whites, peaches. So I'm going to take all these in. I have my daughter-in-law's mom stopping by today, so she had cards at our farm stand all season, selling like greeting cards. She's a beautiful artist, and I wanted to give her a little thank you, so these will be pretty. And whoops, don't fall, sorry, I'm back. Beep beep. Oh my lord. Okay, hang on. Well, that was quite difficult to get you guys back up, but look at these beautiful red zinnias. I mean, I'm telling you what, this is my first time growing this many zinnias as I did this year, and oh, I just love them. They have provided so many bouquets all year long, and I think I'll always grow them. But this is my one and only final basket. Can you guys see in there? Of green tomatoes, and you'll see some of them are starting to blush. So my plan is I have a video too on just doing your harvest, bringing them in your house, and letting them finish ripening in the house. There's a couple methods to that. I usually just set them in, you know, the boxes like your mason jars come in. But I think the old farmers or old ways they would individually wrap them in newspaper, and they would swear that you could get them through to Thanksgiving. I've only been successful at that once, but normally they'll ripen within the month, and so you just go check on them. I usually keep them down in my basement, and So I'm gonna just take these in, let them naturally ripen, and then I've got, I think my last tomato sauce video, I said that was it for canning tomatoes, but I'm gonna do one more round, just to be sure. You know, there's, oh, what they're saying, not that it would affect tomatoes at all, but like the port strikes, thankfully with Hurricane Helene and all, and if you guys are down in that area or have family members down in that area, just know our hearts are with you guys. That was just absolutely heartbreaking. But you know, you can get lackadaisical, I guess, in your preserving and harvesting and preparedness, and when you've been doing it for years. And I kind of had probably gotten that way a little bit, more so not out of preparedness, but we've had some recent dietary changes and we're not eating as many vegetables. And I have this huge garden and I'm like, I still have 2 beds of carrots, for example, to harvest. I'm like, why am I doing this to myself? And this is just a good kick in the butt and reminder. You always want to be prepared regardless of, you know, a current dietary situation, that you would be able to help others in an event of an emergency, or help yourselves in the event of an emergency. So not letting my green tomatoes go to waste, for example. Yes, I'm going to be adding even more, just so that should something, I mean, we live in Michigan, so hurricanes and tropical storms aren't likely ever. The longest we've ever been without power here is like 4 or 5 days. But we have a generator to see us through. But say we have one of those crazy blizzards. Say the grid goes down and you can't go to the grocery store. Are you prepared? Do you have everything that you need? And are you being a good steward with the food that God has produced on your land? For me, that's another just trigger and reminder. I really want to be a good steward of everything that He's blessed us with, and not letting things go to waste is my effort in doing that. So, yep. We're gonna have a lot, and carrots, I probably will not need to grow carrots for 2 years. This was just an amazing year for carrots. And I think I have close to 30 quarts already put up, which is insane, an insane amount of carrots for me. And anyway, really today's video is just about green tomatoes. Don't let them go to waste. There's a lot of things that you can do with them. Get them in before the frost happens. If you're like us, I'm sure even further north, you guys have an actual probably frost threat. We don't yet. I think 38 and 36 are both temps in our, and this is Fahrenheit, in our 10-day forecast. So we could always freak out though and go lower than that. So that's why I'm just getting out here and doing my due diligence, getting things in. So good to see you guys. Happy growing, happy preserving, happy harvesting, and stay safe out there. Talk to you guys later.